I am Sarah Semo in Nairobi of The Truth Show, and we welcome our viewers in Kenya and around the globe. This show tackles global issues in sports, business, health, arts, and culture. Let's take a look at what's happening in the world of business. Run-up in home prices is not sustainable, chief economist says. Home values have been rising for 6 straight years and the gains have been accelerating for the past 2 years. The average rate on the 30-year fixed mortgage is nearly a full percentage point higher today than it was in September 2017, its latest low. Global growth too dependent on cheap borrowing. Unemployment will drop to its lowest level since 1980 across the world's richest nations, but global growth remains dependent on cheap borrowing and government spending. The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD, has warned in its latest Global Economy Health Check. Facebook allows advertisers to target sensitive user interests. Facebook, according to the report, collects information about users based on their browsing habit and activities on the social network, and uses that information to predict on their interests. Facebook is able to infer extremely personal information about users, which it allows advertisers to use for targeting purposes. Today we're going to be focusing on the Facebook invasion of privacy. A lot of people spend a good amount of time of their day on Facebook and other social media networks. And to find out that Facebook is giving out personal information without users' consent is shocking and unethical. Talk to me on my social media at Sarah Semo on Twitter, at Sarah Semo on Instagram. And don't forget to use the hashtag Facebook invasion of privacy. Let's read a tweet on social media. At Mildred Kemunto says, Facebook is really hypocritical with this move. They should avoid using people's information for their own benefit because that's not why we joined the platform in the first place. Hashtag Facebook invasion of privacy. Let's now hear from our reporter on the ground with more on this story.
Just a few days ahead of the European Union's General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR, coming into effect, a Guardian investigation has found that Facebook lets advertisers to target users it thinks are interested in sensitive subjects such as homosexuality, Islam, or liberalism. Religion, sexuality, and political beliefs are explicitly marked out as sensitive information under the new data protection laws, said the report.
No right that Facebook is using my information for free to make money off me, and yes, they are invading my privacy.
These social networks like Facebook, for them to invade your privacy when you search for something and put adverts, it's not okay because some of the adverts there are inappropriate content like nude pictures, so that they can go further to access to lure you and click open another link.
Thank you for that, Christabel. What are your thoughts about the Facebook invasion of privacy?
In my opinion, I think this move by Facebook is very careless because they should be respecting people's privacy, and the fact that people didn't give out consent is a major issue.
What do you think are some measures that can be taken to curb this situation?
Be tighter laws on such issues so that organizations, companies, and sites like Facebook can't be exploiting people and giving out their personal information just out of the blue.
Thank you for that, Christabel. Let's take a look at comments on our social media handle.
At Kevin Omundi says, Facebook should stop this with immediate effect. They are invading our privacy and we take these social platforms for fun, and they should not use our information to give anyone without our consent. Hashtag Facebook invasion of privacy.
Joining me today is a social media expert, Mbithe Ngaliuka. Welcome, Mbithe. So Mbithe, what do you think about the Facebook move to give advertisers information about users without their consent?
Thank you, Sarah, for having me in the studio. I think it's very unethical for Facebook to take our details and give them to service providers to source for business. The most ethical thing would be for them to ask for a permission from us so that they can ask us whether we would be okay to give our details before they give them out to people to source for business. I think it's very unethical.
What measures do you think should be taken to stop this kind of invasion?
I think the best thing would be to have systems in place that block them from being able to get our details.
Okay, thank you, Mbive. We're now joined by Alois Loven, Student President, Daystar University and Facebook user. Thank you for joining us today. So what do you think about Facebook's move of using its information and giving it to advertisers without their consent and using it for their own benefit?
I think the use of artificial intelligence for business is definitely something that shouldn't be there. If you look at it, personally, I would want my consent for me to allow anyone to use my data to be able to determine who actually matters to me. But it's very real and it's crazy, especially on social media when you look at your page. Literally everything you browsed and things that you're interested in always seem to pop up. But I think it's the future. It's actually the present already, and it's something that we need to be aware of, and it's something that's going to be there more and more. It's going to get crazier.
So what would the both of you say about Facebook misusing its power, and what ways should be followed to stop this?
I think the only thing we can do is set laws that clearly define how social media can actually use your data.
There should be a box or somewhere where they ask us, would you be okay to have your details taken? And then if you say yes, then it can take. If you say no, then they respect that and they leave it alone.
We are now joined by Herbert Dawe, an online businessman. What do you think users should do to avoid being used and exploited by such platforms?
Thank you, Sarah, for having me. This hulabaloo thing about Facebook, this thing helps small businessmen like us. Because when we put something on in Swahili it's called mtandao, our goods are readily bought and we reach a wide audience. So I support this thing. Those who don't want it, don't search. Don't do other things.
Let's take a comment from social media.
At Kevin Omundi says, Facebook should stop this with immediate effect. They are invading our privacy and we take these social platforms for fun and they should not use our information to give anyone without our consent. Hashtag Facebook invasion of privacy. At Mildred Kemunto says, Facebook is really hypocritical with this move. They should avoid using people's information for their own benefit because that's not why we joined the platform in the first place. Hashtag Facebook invasion of privacy. At Abdul Muhammad says, I think I'll even delete this app. How can they even think of doing such a thing? They should ask all their users before they give out any information because we trust them with our information and doing this is very backstabbing. Hashtag Facebook invasion of privacy.
Personally, I think Facebook is truly misusing their power since they have a large platform and they may think that it's okay, but it's truly unfair for them to steal our information and make money off it. I hope the lawsuit that is dealing with this issue puts them in their place so that other platforms can learn from their example. Thank you for joining us today on the business segment. I was your host, Sarah Semo. Don't forget to join us on our next show, same place, same time. Let's continue with the conversation on my Twitter at Sarah Semo and at Sarah Semo on Facebook and Sarah_Semo on Instagram.